Hey everyone, this is me, Keegan Knox. You guys know me from the Facebook page Keegan Knox, and you also know me from my YouTube channel, The Real KMGH. Well, um, today I actually want to talk about Isowspeed. Okay, I am not a huge fan of a lot of real life streamers out there. Okay, I was a bit of a Kai Cenat fan and fell off. I was even a bit of a Ninja fan. Look, I was most likely a fan of almost all, but my most favorite one was always ISO Speed. Okay, because I thought it was cool, charismatic. He can be funny, yeah, he can be boring, and it was just entertaining to watch his content. Well, if you do remember, the 31st of December, ISO Speed was here in South Africa. Okay, that's where I live in the country of South Africa. And from South Africa, he moved on to doing all the other countries, streaming in all the other countries as well, which is part of his Africa tour. Okay, so if you don't really know yourself in the continent of Africa, I actually just looked it up. There are 54 recognized countries in the continent of Africa. Okay, so I don't know how many countries Speed is actually going to. I'm sure he's actually right now still streaming. Um, but it was cool to see ISO Speed here in South Africa, especially here in Cape Town, and you know the amount of fans that he actually has. Fans of all nationalities, not all nationalities, but of all uh, skin color. Okay, it was cool to see that. Well, he showed just how much there is of South Africa and other place looks. And all the Americans were saying, wow, that is not what we thought Africa looked like, or even South Africa, or even Zimbabwe, or even Nigeria, or even this. Well, and a lot of the African Americans were even crying because they can't believe that Speed is getting such love from the continent of Africa compared to being in Europe, the continent of Europe or the states of Europe, where he wasn't getting such love. Okay, um, and on like this is where I touch on a whole lot of stuff, right? The difference between Africa and Europe, you don't really find a lot of European streamers, from what I could see. I don't really find a lot of European streamers, to be honest. Um, but they were still fans of Speed. There were still kids that were fans of Speed that were in Europe because you saw the kids still there, you know, because they recognize who Speed is. So the adults don't know. They adults, okay? Um, and yeah, so maybe he didn't get much love there, but Europe is different, dude. Like that's not really Western. That's more Eastern, okay? Uh, basically, um, America is the West. Europe is on the east, okay, and that's what they like. So yeah, the whole thing there for them is different. We here in Africa, we in the south, but you know we get a lot of influence from the west, so that is why a lot of people here in Africa will know a lot of things from America and people and celebrities from America. Okay, but in Europe they have their own celebrities there too, which is to them bigger than um the West, okay? And let's not forget there's Portuguese, there's French, there's Italian, there's Romanian languages. They all speak different kind of languages there. We even here in Africa we speak different languages here too, but like I said, the influence of the West, okay, and also the influence of the Europeans. So even here in Africa, the continent of Africa, we will know who a European celebrity is, you know, a famous model or something like that, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to West and European, it's totally different. Okay, so it's not that wow, Speed didn't get much love from the people there. No, maybe they don't even watch that much of streams. You know, uh, for example, like I said, there were still kids there, but there weren't a lot. There could be other things that the kids like. Okay, moving on. Um, The one thing I noticed, like, yes, I understand. African Americans are so happy to see Speed get so much love from Africa, and I'm so thankful that he did. I'm also thankful that you know people can now see, like, oh wow, this is South Africa, this is Namibia, this is Zimbabwe, this is that country, Nigeria. There's so many different countries to be in Africa, and they all are not what was advertised. Okay, it's not just lions and zebras and blah blah blah. No, this is not Madagascar, dude. This is a civilized continent. Okay, yes, there's a lot of forestry out there. Okay, natural wilderness out there, but a lot of the countries are modernized. Okay, there's not huts and all of that stuff. You got dams, we got dams. You got electricity, we got electricity. Okay, you make a fire, you guys got barbecues, we got braai. Yeah, in South Africa, we call it braai. Okay, we also got vlees, we also got meat. So the one thing I didn't understand, um, which I do understand in terms of production, was the fact that there's a lot of the influencers here in South Africa that really did not enjoy Speed himself. They were all excited to see Speed. They wanted to at least have a one-on-one with Speed or something. There were some influencers here in South Africa were even asked, "Hey, when you see Speed, ask him, like, do you want to do, like, want to play FIFA one-on-one, and then, like, Speed will have a FIFA match and blah blah blah." And that's not really what happened. But the person still asked, and Speed just kind of said, like, you know, um, Speed just kind of like flipped him off a little bit, and that's what a lot of the South African influencers thought would happen, that they would get daytime with Speed, but it didn't seem like that. And that's we some people were saying the production side was said this, but Speed said this. But I do also understand that this is like a real live stream. So you got to keep things exciting. You got to keep it moving and all of that. That's why Speed was just going around, walking up and down and all of that, going to the location that he need to go to, because the stream can't get boring. And at the same time, he was like always like on his wrist, still looking at his phone, because he was looking at the chat from YouTube, maybe not just from YouTube, but also from Twitch, and just responding to those who are watching, besides those who are around him, because let's face it, those who are on the chats, on the live streams, would be the ones that are watching, and those are the ones that he also has to be attentive to. Okay, much as kind of like at least like getting a grasp of what's happening around him. But it was just kind of lame because I always saw Speed as somebody who is charismatic, always funny, and you think that that wholesome personality that he has, that friendly personality that he has, would be something that you would see when you meet him for real. Okay, and with here in South Africa, sadly, the YouTubers not the YouTubers. Yeah, they are YouTubers, and they are the influencers here, the YouTubers, the guys that are on the platforms, the guys that also make their own content, just like Speed. They did not get that kind of vibe from him. It wasn't the Speed that we all know. Okay. And I remember I was watching the streams as well, and I was like, Speed is not really paying attention to anybody. He's just focused on the chat, and he's focused on what's the next thing to do? What's the next thing to do? Which was kind of a bit lame for me because he wasn't in the moment. The only time when he was really in the moment was when he was doing other streams in different countries, which are still here in Africa. But his way, he didn't have to focus much on walking around, going to the next stage. Like when he was on the safari, he could just sit back. He wasn't really looking at his phone the entire time. He was just sitting back and he was enjoying what's happening there. Like he could have done the same thing, not just at the safari, but here too in the city. Okay, or going somewhere else. I mean, dude, here in South Africa, Cape Town, he didn't do much that I would expect of seeing Cape Town. He was just in the CBD area, which was okay. Did you go paragliding, dude? Did you go do like the motor scooter? Did you do the water biking? Okay. Did you get in a boat and see the whales? This time of the year, the whales are in the bay, dude. They here because They're giving birth to the younglings. That would have been a sight to see. He did go for the shark edge diving, which I thought was extremely dangerous because I will not go shark edge diving. But it's a cool thing to do because it's a thing that you can do here in Cape Town. We do shark edge diving. You didn't even see hippos. I don't know what he really saw on a safari, but I'm saying that's the things that he could have done even here in Cape Town. We go. It's not like we got lions walking around. We don't have lions. This area has not had lions since 100 years, maybe just less than 100 years. You know, I mean, come on now. The people hunted lions in the area. The lions do. The lion here in Cape Town, the Cape Town lion, is dead. Okay, there's other lions now. Other lions that's from Africa. Um, but I'm saying, like, we still have hippos. There are very many other farms and safaris that we have here in the reserves with these hippos, these giraffes, these oh, not really. I don't care about the tigers. Like, we got the lions, we got the hippos, we got the cheetahs, we got this, we got we got a lot. Okay, there was a lot of things we could have done here. He didn't even see. He saw CBD and he saw the waterfront with a shark cage diving. Guy didn't even come here to Stellenbosch and take a look at these type of things. But then again, I do understand what there's a lot of kids that watch his stream, so maybe it wouldn't have been okay to show that side of the industry. It's not a bad side of the industry. It's just over 18, okay, because it involves wine, okay. But there were nice farms that you could look at, and the activities that you do on the farm, and just how cool it is, and a lot of families come together on these farms, okay, where they want to spend time. I understand that not everything could be done, and the amount of money that they're putting into things, and them having to be in different countries and cities. But it wasn't just only the Cape Town influencers that felt the same way about speed, but also a lot of the influences in other countries here in Africa. Okay, the fact that Miss Universe, who is actually from Zimbabwe, didn't really get a one-on-one, or like just even a greeting from Ishowspeed. And I think she was. I'm not going to say that yes, she was smart. I'm just going to say she also didn't greet him. So I just think that maybe I don't know. I'm not going to say a thing. She was there in the camera. Um, but I think dude, it's Miss Universe. You know, where? How many times are you going to meet the Miss Universe, the current Miss Universe? Dude, say hi. You could have at least did that. Um, but what can I say? Like what I like. That is not the ISO speed that I know. Or at least that I see on screen. Um, I'm hoping some answers can come out of this. It's not a big deal. Look, a lot of the South African influencers kind of treat other people the same way Speed treated them. That's why other people are kind of glad, like, yeah, we're so glad that these Cape Town influencers, these South African influencers, got treated the same way they treat their own fans. And I thought it was crap. Because let's not forget, the fact that Speed actually did something like that is the same thing that happened to him when he was in Europe. Two wrongs don't make a right, bruh. Two wrongs don't make a right. And I don't want to say things like I was upset because I wasn't one of the influencers that was contacted to meet him. But then again, I was really busy on that evening. So conclusion. It's just business, right? Sad thing to say though. Why do I say sad thing? Because they're mostly focused on the content and the money for the fans, right? But can it really be something that we Speed would say that when he was here in Cape Town, it was really something that he enjoyed while he was busy making the content. I understand the safari could have been cool. Yeah, cool. The spinning, when they were doing the spinning with the BMWs here in Cape Town, here in the Josie side in South Africa. Yeah, I'm sure you will see that was a cool experience. Dude, now, why didn't you come to Cape Town and do things like that too, where you could have had time to not look at the phone and just be in the live stream, bro? And like in other countries where you're going to be in the live stream, not just focusing on the phone. Even though we do understand that you need to focus on those viewers, but you could have at least, give attention to everybody out there that actually came there for you, because they also came there for you as much as those on the live stream came there for you. Could have given them attention too. But okay, that is just my opinion on things. Okay, shocked me a bit because Speed to me was like number one streamer in the world. Okay, and yeah, who knows what everybody else thinks? If you do have your own opinion or you do have your own viewpoint on these things and what you want to say, please hit that in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a like, sub, follow, and sub. Well, I just actually said subscribe. But okay, I'll catch you guys in the next one.